360 feedback allows employees and managers to provide information about the colleagues they work with a structured and organized format. By asking specific questions, you are more likely to get a straightforward feedback. Now, before we look at how to request a feedback, let's take a look at the questions in our custom 360 feedback form. To do this, we go to Administration, Company, and then Form Builder. Here you will see all other active forms. Please note that there is a separate session available for forms and workflows. Clicking on the actions, we can see that there are actions to edit this form, set inactive, delete, download form data, and delete all form responses. Before we can click on the Form Builder action, we'll click on Edit. This is where we give the form a name and a description if necessary. From the form type, we can select out form type, in this case 360 feedback. We can choose to anonymize the responses, but in this case we'll select No. And finally, we can choose to make this form active or inactive. When we're done, you click on Submit, followed by a Cancel. Now we're ready to click on the Form Builder action to look at our 360 feedback form containing the custom questions we want to ask. Please note, the Form Builder action will not be available if your form already has responses. In this case, we can because there are no responses yet. So this is a form we created with questions for our 360 feedback. We can look at each of the fields on the right of the screen by clicking on the respective edit actions. To the left, we can see the field display label or name, if this field should be mandatory or not, and its appropriate field type. Sliding to Show Advanced Options, you will see the database field name, which is the name that you will need when building a report if ever, and the text in the field description that will provide additional information to users who will complete this form. They can access this information if there is a question mark icon to the left of the field in the form. And lastly, we can choose to make this field uneditable once completed and set the order in which the field will appear in our form. As we click on the edit actions of the fields, we can see they're very similar in purpose for this form, with this exception of the last field, which is used to mark the response as complete. When we're done editing the form, we click on Finish Building Form. Now we're ready to use this form to request 360 feedback for one of our employees. So to do this, we'll go to Performance and then 360 feedback. And here will be any feedback request that has already been made. We'll click on Add. Select from the drop-down you want the employee a feedback on. Then in the Recipients, enter the name of one or more employees you want to receive the feedback from. Select the date you want to receive the feedback by. And from the Question Choice drop-down, you either choose Standard, then add your question, or you can select Custom to choose our form. When we're done, we click on Submit to finish. So here we are in the home screen of the employee we requested feedback from, and here you can see the 360 feedback request is pending. So we'll click on the link and respond to the questions. Returning to the administration view and then performance in a 360 feedback, we can see that one request has been received for Mark Cuban and another one as well. The actions on the right allows us to add another recipient to this feedback, change the date we want the feedback by, we can delete the requested responses, or we can download the responses as a CSV file. And in the CSV file, we can see who is it for, who was it from, and when it was completed, and the feedback. Alternatively, you can go to the report builder to run a report to share the 360 feedback.